I'm with my buddy Ed Kim. Say hi, Ed.
Hey, how's it going?
You should have said hi, Ed. That's classic comedy. Hi, Ed.
Hi, Ed.
Thank you. Ed, we're in your car. What are we driving?
We are driving a 1983 Mercedes-Benz 300D.
And in a little bit, I'm going to tell you how the 300D is a little like a Lamborghini. But before we get to that, information explosion. Kaboom. Okay, with all that information out of the way, I'm going to start this up. And this is one of the fun things I like about your car. It's a diesel, so you have the little display here that tells you when the glow plugs are working.
That's correct. Back in the day, these old school diesels required you to, there you go.
There you go.
Wait till the glow plug light goes out.
It's out. Let's give it a go.
Let's do it.
Oh, that turned over pretty easy.
Yeah.
Also, it's a little stuffy in here. The AC doesn't work.
That's true.
Let's get these windows down and get a little wind noise on these microphones so the audio is insufferable. As I gingerly back out of your driveway with the e-brake still on. Is there a release?
See the little knob to your...
there we go.
Right next to the headlights.
That got her.
And then you're going to want to push it back in.
What happens if I leave it out?
I don't know. Never tried it. Let's try it.
Thing just blew up. Who'd have guessed? Is this to adjust that mirror?
Yes. In the ultimate pragmatic ways of the Germans of the 1980s, you don't need a power adjuster for the driver's mirror because it's right there.
Yeah.
However, it may be inconvenient to stretch all the way to the other side of the car to do the right mirror. So therefore, the switch only operates the right mirror. You got to do the left one manually.
Fair enough. I'm sure you know what you're doing, Germany. Oh, you know what? Here's how we start things out. Interior. So we're going to talk a little bit about the interior here as I desperately try not to pull in front of anybody or scrape anything. It's weird because I'm so used to modern cars.
There is a car coming.
Oh God, there is a car coming. Hi. You're like the active safety that I miss in a... I'm doing this the other way. Sorry, I'm fixing this. I was going to back into the press car I drove over here. You've never seen me so disheveled as driving an old Mercedes. So the interior is kind of remarkable if you're used to modern cars. One of the things that jumped out to me, the seats have a bounce to them as though you're sitting on grandma's couch.
Yes, there are actual springs in those seats.
I don't know if I've ever sat in a car with actual springs in the seats.
Well, it's actually springs and horsehair, if you can believe that.
When you say horsehair, do you mean like literal horsehair?
Literal horsehair. These seats are literally stuffed with horsehair.
Oh, that's remarkable. Am I in sport mode? Is that what the S stands for?
I think it actually means second, but good enough.
The blue is one of the things that really stands out to me.
Well, anytime you're choosing a old car, condition matters more than color. Having said that, I do actually love the blue. It's such a period color. I actually wouldn't mind if blue interiors made a comeback.
It says 1980s Mercedes or a 2019 Lincoln.
Yes, with their black labels.
Yeah, they're bringing it back.
Yeah, they are.
Of this vintage, when we're talking early 80s, if something looks like wood, it's probably wood.
Oh, it's wood.
There's an authenticity to driving your car that I like. So we talked a little bit before we started shooting about patina. And like, if you look at the dash, it's got these sort of lived-in cracks. But I mean, you didn't do the move where like you could have put the fuzzy mat down. Yeah. Then again, we're driving around. We could make a stop by the Pep Boys and get you something up there, like a Tweety Bird mat cover, dash cover.
You know what? I'll go for the authenticity. How's that?
Fool. That was a free Tweety Bird dash cover. Gave that up. Needless full throttle acceleration.
Whee!
Oh. Huh.
Now, if you can believe this is the fast version.
Ha! Consider that a tease for the driving section. One of the things I like is the headliner. Is this not original?
This is the original headliner.
It looks really cool. It looks like if you were trying to update it, this feels more modern perhaps than the rest of it.
Yeah, it does sort of have this weave pattern that's common in modern day headliners.
And look, a grab handle for the driver.
Yep.
They know how I drive. A couple things I know about this generation Mercedes is that they were very early to offer an airbag. and anti-lock brakes. They were like on the vanguard of that kind of technology. And then the 3-point harnesses in the back are like another big deal.
You know, particularly for a car of this era, it is engineered for safety.
So with that in mind, Ed, is this family friendly?
I guess everyone has their threshold for what family friendly means. A lot of people won't put their kids in a car unless it has a 5-star safety rating all around and side curtains and all that. But we like to live dangerously. Family friendly.
Yeah! For 1983.
Yes.
Kind of a corollary to the family friendly thing, cargo space. What's the situation back there? It's kind of a big trunk.
It does have a big trunk.
I ride for a living.
I think part of what makes that trunk big, though, is there's probably less structure in the car than there is in a modern vehicle. You know, compared to a modern car, you got pretty thin pillars.
Oh my gosh, the thin pillars are crazy.
Yeah.
Like you get in here and it feels like you're in a sunroom, one of those added-on porches that appears in our neighborhood.
So yeah, you can really fit a lot of stuff in here.
My point of comparison is I once drove a dude's like C4 Corvette. It's like these paper thin pillars and stuff.
Yeah.
Where it's like this can hold the roof in place, and that's the extent of it. I love it. It's great. I mean, until the inevitable rollover, but yeah. What are the odds of that? Hard cut to us rolling this thing. Before we move on, let's test the back windows. All the way?
All the way.
Exterior! Walk me through some of the details that you really like.
I think the styling is stately but not pretentious.
You've got the Mercedes logo sort of guiding the thing out front, and that's something that I miss in modern cars, modern Mercedes.
Well, there's a sense of occasion to looking at that.
You know what? That's what it is. A sense of occasion. When you drive this around, it feels like you are arriving. Like, oh, here they are.
Yeah, you don't pull up, you arrive.
Yeah, definitely. Much like the interior, the exterior has a few lived-in elements.
Oh, absolutely.
I had a moment where I was looking in the back over here on the C-pillar, and I was like, "Oh my God, there's a scrap!" I'm like, "Oh wait, no, I think that was here before." I was like, and so there's a lot of those like little details, but I love the idea that when you drive a car, you drive this car, that's just reflection of its experience.
There's an honesty to this car's patina that I really actually love. The original owner of this car bought it brand new in 1983 and kept it all the way up until last year, putting nearly 300,000 miles on the thing in the process. Yeah, it's gotten scrapes and nicks, and you know, especially at the front, there's lots and lots of rock chips and things like that. You know, there are a few rough spots on the exterior and interior, but you know, the car drives very solidly. The powertrain's in great shape. You know,
what that is? That is a Segway. In motion. And as we transition to the In Motion segment, let me remind you to like and subscribe and hit the bell thing and that kind of stuff. Now we're gonna go take a left-hander here. Let's see how this baby corners. Yeah! I had a Thelma and Louise moment there. No, it's good. It did turn.
It did.
There's a fair bit of like dead space on center.
Yes.
And the thing is, normally that would drive me crazy, but the thing tracks true. It's like
very straight.
It's not like one of those cars where you're making constant little corrections. You can there's just nothing happening here. So you just sort of disregard like the middle 5 degrees of steering wheel motion, and it doesn't matter because the car is still going to go straight. I love that.
True. Mercedes-Benzes of this era, they hadn't yet gone over to rack and pinion steering like most of the rest of the industry had. They had stuck with recirculating ball steering, which is really what trucks used.
Proven technology, like they say.
Very proven. But what it did do is that, you know, yes, you know, to your point, it does have that dead spot. But part of the idea behind that is high-speed stability. You know, it's a more relaxed driving experience as you hurtle down the Autobahn.
In the same way that I'm longing for the return of lighter-than-air travel in dirigibles, it sounds like you're longing for the return of recirculating ball steering technology to passenger cars.
Well, I don't know if I'd go that far, but...
No, take a stand, Ed. Go for it. Commit. Oh, here. Let's see. Yeah, just enough power to make it through that yellow. Sick. I feel like the first quarter of the accelerator pedal travel, nothing happens.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume that if you're just moving in that space, you're merely tantalizing it. You're merely tickling the accelerator as a precursor to an actual input.
Yeah.
So like, I'm tapping fairly, nothing's happening. We're coasting down and I'm tapping on it. And it's like all that neutral space, it's so unfamiliar to me as a guy who drives modern cars that I can just only kind of look on and marvel at it. It's like, wow, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Also, brake pedal, it's kind of, for me, the definition of wooden.
Yes.
Again, it's like within the context of all this other stuff, it just becomes character. This is not a 1010 car.
No.
Let's talk about ride quality.
At this age, the bushings are a little old and crusty. So, some of the rougher pavement and some of the smaller bumps in the road, you definitely feel those.
Yeah.
But over the bigger stuff, I mean, it really does soak those bumps up very, very nicely, even by modern standards.
At the beginning of the video, I teased, how is the 300D like a Lamborghini? Let's see if we can feel it. These are some of the most assertive shifts, and they're smoother now that we've warmed it up.
Yeah.
But when I first hopped in this the other day to go grab some B-roll, I was like, oh my God, this is kind of like that push feel transmission behavior that you get from a Lamborghini Aventador. It's very assertive.
Yeah, this is from before the days when transmission shifts were electronically controlled and, these nice little slurred shifts that you get in modern cars now. Yeah, this is, there's definitely more shift shock. You definitely feel it. But, it's the mark of another era.
So it's the Lamborghini of sensible Mercedes sedans of 1983. Emotion factor. Ed, whenever we do Micah drives, we talk about the emotion factor, and that can take on a lot of different forms.
Yeah.
In this case, the emotion, to me, doesn't seem to come from driving excitement, but I'm feeling a fair bit of emotion. What do you think? What's the emotion factor for you with the 300D?
Even at this age of, I guess this car is 36 years old now, you can still feel the inherent good engineering in it. The engineering is what made this car cost a lot of money. It wasn't all the bells and whistles. It's really a pretty bare bones car in terms of features.
Yeah. Needless full throttle acceleration.
Whee! There we go.
Oh, yeah, we got it. There we go. Oh, and that Volvo's gunning to get hit.
Hey, but we have crumple zones.
Exactly. We'd still win. In 8 months of ownership, you're feeling the emotion?
I'm feeling the emotion. We intend to keep this thing for a long, long time.
Ed, how do you think this conversation's going so far?
I think it's going fantastic. Swimmingly.
Would you like to have me review your car? So if you want me to come do your car, just like we're experiencing here with Ed, I will do that. I will come and drive your car. Hit me up on Instagram, and I'll probably be more likely to do it if you live in the greater Los Angeles area, or at least California, but who knows? And by the way, I don't want just like crazy cars. You don't have to have a Pagani Pura for me to come. Like if you drive like a sensible Honda Accord, that would be cool too. Seriously, Instagram, hit me up. Remarks! Talked about some of the interesting details. Run me through problems. Anything that's popped up that's not working for you.
The biggest issue with the car right now is that the AC is not on. It actually really wouldn't take much to put it back right again. The car came with one bad wheel bearing up front. Replace that, cheaply. Since then I've put about 4,000 miles on the car, and it's been running fantastic.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Does the sunroof open?
The sunroof, I forgot. That's the other thing that doesn't work. The sunroof does not open. I don't know if it's just a blown fuse or if it's a burnt out motor. To be honest, I haven't checked.
I never used the sunroof in my wife's car either. Nonetheless, if you want to open that thing up, I have a drone.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
If you go back to the rear deck, what's underneath that panel?
A first aid kit.
A first aid kit. And by the way, it looks like the one that came with the car.
Oh, it absolutely is. The vinyl's all yellow, and
there's probably some like way out of date ibuprofen in there. If you want to get messed up on some expired drugs,
come see me.
Come see Ed Pusherman Kim. Sort of related to that, because there are speakers back there. Tell me about the Blaupunk.
Frankly, it's too charming to get rid of. back in the 80s, having a Blaupunkt, yeah, that was pretty awesome.
That was serious baller status.
That was serious baller status back then. I'm not getting rid of the Blaupunkt. It works. Everything works on it. You know, I generally listen to yacht rock mixes and stuff when I'm driving this car because 1983 Mercedes. On the off chance that I do want to hear something else, you know, I just plug in the FM transmitter and play my tunes through my phone.
Real quick, let's talk about armrests. So we've got one in the center here that flips down with a push of the button. In the back seats, the center armrest does not flip out like you would expect it to flip out.
No, it does not. It pulls out from the bottom. It's very weird.
So the same material is always exposed, whether it's stowed or exposed. Why do they want that same surface to always be visible?
You know, that's a great question.
I'm sure the Germans have their reasons.
I'm sure they do.
What's this thing?
That thing is the remnants of a 1980s era Whistler radar detector, a built-in unit, I might add, that had sensors and whatnot mounted inside the grille. It's extra hilarious that the original owner elected to put it in, given the fact that I don't even think you can speed in this car. I think it's physically impossible.
You have to like push it off a cliff to really exceed the limit.
I think so. Yes, this is the fastest version of the W123 that was available in the US at this time, which is really comical because that means that there is a slower version.
Wow.
That did the 240D, which did 0 to 60 in about 25 seconds.
I feel like there's no way the words you just said could be accurate.
They're
accurate. But I'm going to trust you on that one. Seriously, 25?
25. This one does it in about 15.
Whew!
Rocket ship.
The turning circle was pretty good. I mean, it takes a few turns to get there, but that's a pretty decent, tight circle, man.
Yeah, built for tight Stuttgart alleys, I guess, right?
While we're sitting at the stoplight, in the glove compartment, I noticed some actual gloves. Whose are those?
Those are mine. I actually have driving gloves in the glove box.
But do you use them to drive?
You know, I don't. But
do you think they fit me?
Hey, they might.
Custom Ed Kim gloves. Oh my God, this is such an OJ moment. I love it. See if I can make this work. We got a little more time. I can't get them on. No, actually, these fit perfectly. Wait, these are custom fit for you? It's gonna be so disappointed when you realize this is a generic size for all human males. Yeah, literally anyone can wear these. Oh man,
they're quite comfy.
That is, you know, I've never been a driving glove guy, but I might be a convert.
So I was given these gloves a while back, and I never used them in my normal car because, well, it renders your touchscreen useless. But well, in this car, there's no touchscreen to speak of, so yeah, it's perfect.
I think I'm really into this. Gloved synopsis. And at the end of every one of our Micah Drives videos, we synopsize the essence of the vehicle. As the battery's running out on that GoPro, as the owner of this vehicle too, why don't you synopsize? What is the essence of your Mercedes-Benz 300D?
I think this car really represents the pinnacle of automotive engineering in the early 80s. Actually, really kind of the 70s, because the car was introduced for the 77 model year. So wasn't there a slogan, engineered like no other car in the world, something like that back in the day? I think there was some truth to that slogan. It's stately, it looks proud. It almost revels in its slowness.
Yeah?
Which is kind of fun.
Do you know where you're sliding to? The essence of your car, Mr. Belvedere. It's fancy, it's proper, but it's respectful and knows how to have a good time. Also a product of the 80s. The 300D,
indeed.
The Mr. Belvedere of stately German sedans. Hey Ed, we made a video!
We did make a video. High
five! Ooh, yeah, it's got some thumps to it. It's nice.
Good sound.
If you haven't already, like and subscribe. See you real soon, guys. Does that guy need something?
This is my friend Micah.
Hi, I'm Micah.
You guys doing some vlogging or something?
Yeah, we're doing a video with Ed's car, and
you guys recording right now?
We are.
Sorry.
No. This is a real human moment. Get in here. Put your head on camera. Come on. Which car is yours?
The 240.
What year is it?
1983, actually.
What?
Oh, it's like mine.
Oh, we got a competition. Oh, you guys have to brawl it out. Let's get that on camera. Cool. Yeah, good
Thanks
job.
for stopping.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? When people yell at me as I'm driving by, I normally just gun it, but I felt good about this one. So
Nice to meet you, man.
All right, take care.
I high five. Yeah, I did.